Good morning, everybody. I have been, like everybody else, talking or thinking about things that I'm thankful for as it is the Thanksgiving season, and we have Thanksgiving on Thursday. And one big thing that comes to my mind is the new people that I've met since March. And I have a great guest today, and I am thankful for him because he's the bringer of ideas. And we're going to bring him on in a minute. But first, I need to thank our sponsors. First, we have Cards That Wow. And this is custom handmade note cards that when your customers open up the envelope, they go, wow, these are great. And I'm also expanding into corporate gifting. My second sponsor is Blue Sky Video Productions. And I'm going to bring Bruce on right now because he has a special offer for our watchers and listeners.
Hi.
Hi, Bruce.
So, thank you much. Thanks for adding me to your show. I'm usually behind the scenes on most of these.
Yeah, you're the magic worker and you make everything go smooth. And you know how this would be if I were alone, right?
Well, as smooth as life can be.
Well, as smooth as it can be with me. So tell us about your project, your offer that you're working on.
Well, I'm offering a 5-day challenge. It's actually the first time I've done a challenge because I've been doing a lot of seminars and webinars and in-person presentations, but this is the first time I'm doing a virtual challenge online, and it's basically revolving around the going live because a lot of people are trying to go live, and to some extent it's easy if you're not in business and if you don't have a goal and if you're just doing it for fun. It's like super easy. Just pick up your phone and go live on Instagram or Facebook or even YouTube. But if you're in business, you need to go live with a purpose and with a passion and most likely for profit. So if you're interested in learning how to go live, I've got a 5-day challenge coming up 2 weeks from yesterday. So it starts on December 7th. And the dates are 7th through 11th. So I figured those are lucky numbers.
Nice.
So it's really easy to join. You just go to the link here, which is bsvp.com/go live in 5 and sign up. And it is a free challenge.
I bet our guest will benefit from this.
Excellent. And I will let you go. And thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. Now let's bring on our guest today, Joe Williams.
Hi, Kellen.
Hey, Joe. I'm so excited that you agreed to be on my show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love your shows, and thank you to Bruce too. I don't catch all of them live, but I always watch your replays, so I know that he's the guy that makes it all happen, other than you, of course.
Well, he's 90%. I'm 10.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. He's probably 70%. You, the guest, would be 30%. My math
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm a very tiny part of it. So, first of all, I want to talk about Joe, the family man, because we're very proud of that. And tell me about your family.
So we have a 16-month-old little Ollie, our daughter Olivia. So I'm a first-time dad, like a lot of guys are, but we're expecting again June 1st. And so we're super excited about that. And family is, I know Jeffrey Gitomer for those watching that don't know, but most know, they know Jeffrey. Jeffrey talks about doing stuff for yourself first and then family second and everybody else third, basically. And I mean, family is everything. And it's, this year has been a crazy year for a lot of people, and definitely I'm not out of that mix. I've tried to revamp the way that I do certain things, my thought process, and it's been an incredible year in that respect. I mean, it could be scary, especially with an infant, with all the stuff going on in the outside world, but you adapt to it, and family makes you better. And I know you're a big family person as well. I know you have 3 generations living under one roof, if I remember right. And I think that's really cool, but nothing's more important than family. So.
Right. No, I love that. And that's probably your driving force at this point, right? Is
Yeah.
everything you
Yeah.
do is to the betterment. Like for me, everything is the betterment of my daughter and the betterment of my mom for her
Yep.
quality of life.
Yep.
Hello, Charles Coachman. How are you?
Charles.
He's such a great guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy.
So business or family. So what you do to what you do to support them financially is so you're doing something now, but you're probably looking to do something later.
So I work in sales, and it's primarily insurance, retirement planning stuff, and I love it.
Mhm.
But I've done it for about 5 years now. I've been in sales for 15 years, and this year it's especially made me approach the way that I do things.
Mhm.
And it's sales is great. Just as a profession, sales is fun. It's fun as hell. You meet good people in every industry. But with insurance and retirement, that it's a way that I know I could really help others. The thing
Mhm.
is, most people, they hate buying insurance. I mean,
Right.
you go into a room and you ask, there could be 200 people there. You say, how many people have insurance? And most people raise their hand. Then you ask again, how many people like buying insurance? Hold your hand up, and you'll see all the hands go
Yeah.
down. So
Or they'll
just
leave the room.
yeah, yeah, trying to find fun ways to engage with people and make that process fun and beneficial, not just here's a policy or something like
Right.
that. I'll check in with you next year. And this year with the new normal course and meeting all of you guys online, I mean, it's been great. I never would have known you had I not joined Jeffrey's New Normal or anybody else, all these great people I'm meeting and interacting with Jeffrey and everybody one-on-one. But and then Bradley, Bradley's awesome. We both live in Denver. We've met in person a few times. I'm joining his Toastmasters group, and I would never know any of these guys had it not been for Jeffrey and just the way that things kind of gone down. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Brad,
It's
happy
hi
Thanksgiving.
Foghorn. I mean, Brad. It's
Yeah.
good to see you.
No,
But
it's
yeah, just thinking of different ways to engage with folks. And I've always done that, like Jeffrey said, try to engage with value first. But one of the things that when he brought Wyatt Woodsmall in, that really hit me, and he interviewed him, and it was like, wow, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Wyatt Woodsmall says that most people, you'll ask people what their values are, and they'll give you one answer, but they might be living life completely different. And what he said, just I think about it every day. And he said that values are in the heart, and that real values are things that people live by. What people are spending three things on: their time, energy, and resources. He says, so if you want to know what people's values are, look at what they're spending their time, energy, and resources on. And so I've kind of, my motto, if you will, my zone of genius, the map in Michael Heppel's group, for the group 17, my map, I've figured is I discover my shared values with others and bring helpful, applicable ideas. And I've focused on bringing ideas to people first versus, I might talk about insurance or something first and then bring ideas here and there. It's like
right.
I really try to connect with a person, see what their values are, and bring ideas to them. And then if I can help them, great. If not, then that's fine too. But that's kind of where the whole bringer of ideas came from.
Well, and that was a key lesson that Jeffrey taught us,
Yeah,
is like,
yeah,
don't just show up and sell something. And if you can't get a hold of them or you can't get in cut, if they won't reach out or talk to you,
yeah,
just bring them an idea. And I'll tell
yep,
you, that's worked in my business. I mean,
yeah.
it's a great simple idea that we just kind of take for granted,
It is.
So, when you do your website, is this going to be linked to your insurance, or is this going to be something separate?
It's going to be separate. I mean, I have my LinkedIn right now. I think we were talking before the show. I didn't even have a Facebook before April. I didn't do anything online. And our company, our insurance company, they're pretty old school, and they're finally coming with the times as well, and then doing some more stuff online. But it'll be separate from that. If people, it'll be connected to my LinkedIn and stuff like that. And if I could help people with insurance, and that's awesome. But this will be something separate to the insurance stuff. It allows me to be way more creative, do things. I do whatever I want because it's not, connected to my company or what have you. Like I had my cards, with the business cards, but from the company with all the fine print, basically all the fine print saying, here's what you can and can't do. And I said, oh, these are great cards. And then I had these made. They're nice and they're foil stamped. They're bright, they're loud, and you can do whatever you want if you buy your own. And so that's what I did. And it's a simple thing, but it's something that I didn't really think as much about as I should have been before this year. And like you said, with the Jeffrey says, bring an idea. That was the underlying tone in his new normal course. And when I shifted my focus on saying, just focus on bringing ideas to clients and customers first, you see a big change in how business is done, and a good change. And so that's kind of and it's fun, if you genuinely want to help people and you bring them stuff like this, it's awesome. It's been a real fun year in that regard. And you can't control what goes on in the outside world, just what goes on right here and in your own world. And I'm trying to have as much fun as possible and just hustle and help, I guess.
That's awesome. I love that. So do you have an example of an idea that you presented to somebody that they just kind of went, wow, that's a great thing.
Yeah, so I did one last week and they did not go wow. They haven't, they kind of, I don't think they really care, but so this is outside of my insurance. So I've done a lot of stuff with clients, especially shared values. Like I'm a big car guy, and some of my clients are car people, and it doesn't matter if it's Chevy, Ford, whatever. I'm an American muscle guy, and they like the same type of thing. So I'll bring them. One of my customers, he's raising his grandson right now, and I think he's in his early 60s, and they have custody of their grandson, and he's, I think, 11 or 12, and he's learning pinstriping. And so, I bring him all these ideas from Hot Rod magazine. It's like, hey, this would be cool for your grandson to work on in the garage. And it's basically like a how-to course, or like a little step-by-step first guide to pinstriping, something like that, that I know because I'm a car guy, but finding these things out. But there was one last week that I did, and it, again, nothing to do with insurance, not a customer. It was a cold call, but I was like, I had to do it. And I told Jeffrey this. I was driving by my office there, and there's a marina here in Denver. And ever since March, they have a huge sign. It's at the top of the hill. It's the biggest sign on the street. You go over this hill, and it just says COVID-19 boat sale with all these dollar signs on the sign. It says big marina. I'm like, this sign is stupid. It's like you can't be attracting people in there, but they're still open, and they've been there since I was a kid. They're still in business.
Right.
And so I went in, I brought my card, and I said, hey, I have a really good idea for your sign. And I didn't say this, I'll sell it to you for $2,500. I was nice about it, but I said, there's a lot of people. As soon as you go over this hill, and because there's always cop radar there too, so people have to even slow down.
Right.
They're right where the radar van is. And I said, I have a really good idea for your sign, and I think it would help bring in business. Even if people aren't interested in boats, it'll make them laugh. It'll make them think. Basically saying everything other than your stupid sign you have now. Again, COVID-19 boat sale with a bunch of dollar signs, and the guy seemed receptive to it. And then going back and trying to get a hold of the owner, they've kind of, I think, just shut it out. And what I was going to tell them, because I don't think they're watching this show, so I'll tell you what I was going to tell them. My idea was, instead of having that sign, something like working remote, why not work with a view? Come check out our boats, something like that. Like isn't that way better than COVID-19 boat sale?
Yeah, well, working remote, try a boat.
yeah. There you go. See, yeah, I'm going to give you half the commission for that. So, but how great would that be? That's just way better. So just stuff like that, trying to be more creative, and that's what we're doing. But I've always brought clients, customers ideas, but really making that my focal point now, just trying to do that with everybody, because I don't cold call anymore for my insurance side of the business. That was just like a fun thing I did. If they shut me out for the boat thing, I don't care. But cold calling is not something I do anymore. And today it's real hard, because you're going to walk in somewhere, you're going to piss people off, and most people don't even want anyone in there.
Right.
And I have a lot of guys who they still want to see me in person. That's fine. I have a relationship with them. I mean, I'm not working remote I am maybe 20% of the time, but I'm still seeing customers. I'm going to the office. So the new normal, people using that a lot, is going to be a hybrid of all those things. I think kind of when Randy, when he was on your show, Randy Candy,
Thinking
when you
on him.
interviewed him,
Mhm.
I love Randy. And
Our
I know
road
he's doing
warrior.
his Randy hybrid 2.0. He hit it on the head, because I know he has a lot of old school guys he calls on, and those guys, they still want to see you in person. And so it's going to be a mix of that going forward, but just trying to stay creative with the people that you can't be in front of, especially, and rather than just like a checking in email or something like that. Oh, thanks, Michelle.
I love Michelle. Ideas that
Ideas that wow. I like it.
You know what you should tell them though, if you're going to follow up with them, I was just thinking you should tell them that the sign is scaring people. 'Cause
Yeah,
COVID is
serious.
not an attractive or an attracting word. It's a
No. Yeah, right. And COVID-19 especially. Like, it says COVID-19 still.
oh God. So okay, so you how do you feel that you will be able to help people the best coming in 2021? What do you see Joe doing to change the world?
Just being genuine and being yourself. I know that that's kind of a cliche thing to do, but if I have a genuine help to for the insurance side, it doesn't have to be even insurance, just to, because I've always thought, how could I be my best? How could I bring out my best in others? And just that bringing ideas just kept going over and over in my mind. And so I think not just keeping in touch with people, but because I do have clients and customers, not a lot, but there have been people who've had losses from COVID, and just being there for them, sometimes not even bringing them ideas, just saying, hey, I'm here, what do you need? And
Mhm.
I think moving into 2021, especially, that's going to be the big thing, just like it was this year, but not even trying to sell stuff. I mean, guys, my thing that I'm going to work on the most is staying in contact with people with new mediums. Like Hippo is a good one that Jeffrey talks about, but I've only done Hippo for a couple weeks now, and it's freaking awesome. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. I mean, I know video is king now, but guys that I haven't been able to get a hold of on the phone, I sent them a Hippo, and shit, they call me right back. I mean, right away.
Were you afraid to make a video? Do you think that was
No,
your
I
reason,
don't
or
think I was afraid to make a video. I think is just procrastination.
okay.
Honestly, I didn't think that I needed to do it. I didn't think that online was a necessity before this year. Not for me, because all of my clients I have, they're all referrals. I don't bang the phones out. I don't go online and seek people. All the people that sell leads, that's not how I get my clients. All my clients are referrals from existing clients, and then that's just how I've always done it. But a lot of people now, especially the younger guys, I'll pick up the phone and I'll call them. My younger clients, God bless them, I'll call them. They won't answer the phone. They'll text me right back, or they'll like IM me or something now that I have a Facebook, and say, hey, what's going on? And I say, yeah, I just called you. But a lot of people don't pick up the phone
Well,
now, the younger people. And so just kind of that being online, having a presence online, I think helps stay in touch, especially with those folks. But so many people do live online. And so I think for 2021, really utilizing technology and that space to help people as much as possible. That's my goal for me. And then obviously just to be a good dad, be a good husband.
so what do you see as the ideal client or person that you're going to bring an idea to?
Somebody that actually needs help with something. So
Like, are you talking
with
about creative help or like branding and marketing help or
my ideal client, well, probably for the insurance, again, for the way that I actually make money is through life insurance and retirement planning. My ideal client is somebody who needs that and doesn't have it, and that's the saddest ones for me are guys I talk to that are like in their 50s and 60s, and a lot of people don't want to retire. That's fine, but wouldn't it be nice to have an extra 500 grand, $1 million or something to play around with it once you're in that age, it's 60s and the 70s onward. And the hardest ones for me are folks like in their 50s who don't have anything saved, and I talk to them and they say, oh yeah, I'll start next month, and it's just, you know how that usually goes. They'll start and then they'll just stop right away. So my ideal client is somebody like that, who I could really show the value to in having a plan, having a financial plan, and getting them to stick with it. And then obviously younger folks, because the younger you start is the better, the more benefit it is to you. And I love my younger clients. I mean, I say younger, but 20, 21, that's definitely younger compared to me. So those are probably my ideal clients. And but again, where there's actually a need, a lot of people already have their financial plans and whatnot. And if that's something I can't help them with, then that's good too. I'll bring them an idea on something else. If they like to smoke, because we have a smokers club out here with brisket and pork shoulder and stuff, then I'll bring them my brisket recipe. You know, it's a real simple recipe, but I'll bring them something like that. Say, hey, here, this is a good smoker recipe for you. So something like that.
So when you have the 50+ year olds that don't have anything,
Yeah.
how is your conversion rate? Have you I always say wowed them because that's my brand, but
Yeah.
have you changed their minds, and oops, my plant. Were you able to change their
It's a
mind?
good plant.
I know. Isn't it? But I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so do you have some stories about, converting them, or, changing their mindset and them actually doing it and then getting all excited because, oh, look at Joe did for me.
Yeah. There's some people, again, 50 is probably the average for the guys that still want a financial plan for my clients, because I haven't been in the business that long, 4 or 5 years, that's not a long time compared to a lot of other agents. But my favorite ones are, I've met a lot of guys that I show, the program to that we do. And I've had some people, they'll look up and say, where were you 20 years ago? Or where were you 30 years ago? And that, like, right there, I'm like, in my mind, yes, because I know it's something they need. And I've had a lot of clients like that. And then the couple that have said that, where were you? Why weren't you knocking on our door 20 years ago? Because I think it's also a generational thing. Like my parents didn't teach me anything about retirement or insurance or anything like that. And most of my friends that I grew up with, none of their parents did either. And they didn't teach it in schools how necessary just financial planning and stuff like that is. I mean, in school, it would have been nice if they would have taught us how to balance a checkbook or what a credit card does. I mean, my dad took me to get my first credit card when I was 15. I was a freshman in high school, and we sat at the bank, and the banker explained to me exactly how credit works and what a credit card does. And he goes, "Go." I just had my driver's permit. And he said, "Go buy a cup of coffee, pay it off right away, and then use gas, and then just use it for gas. Build up your credit," which at the time was like $10 to fill up my gas tank. Right. And my dad taught me all that. And had he not done that, I mean, this is how I think a lot of folks get in trouble later with credit. It's like nobody teaches them.
Right.
And so it's the same thing with retirement insurance and just having a solid financial plan. I think a lot of people grow up just not knowing. And when I meet those people and they're a little bit older in life and I could still help them, and that's what I really like. That's one of my favorite things.
I bet.
And so there's a lot like that. And so you say conversion rate, most older folks that are new clients and starting their financial program the first time, most of those guys stay, and it's been good.
That's cool. I know, because my parents never said anything about it. And
yeah.
I have this vision of myself sitting in my bedroom crying, trying to balance my checkbook because I had no idea what I was doing. And I thought, my daughter is going to know everything. I mean, all the mistakes were made with me, I'm trying to fix with her. And she shows pigs. And so she sells the pig, and that's considered income. And so for the last 4 or 5 years, the majority of the pig money we put into a retirement account, into a
cool
IMCO. Does that sound, well, I think it's a stock or something, but now she's had a retirement account since.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. I wish I
could
have done that. So.
Yeah, but see, you're doing it now, so that's good. You're doing it for her, so
maybe she can support me.
Yeah. So you're doing this, and you're going to tell her you're going to take care of me, right?
No home for me, right? No home.
Right.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
And I have tons of questions, but I know you have a client in a few minutes. So I want you to be able to give any message that you would like to the audience that are listening and the audience that will be listening later, the message you would like to give to them.
So two things that I have that have really, well, a few things that have shaped me and my mindset and helped me be successful. These two books right here.
Yep. Oh, good. Those are good
Think
ones.
and Grow Rich and Jeffrey's Little Gold Book of Yes. I think a lot of people watching know about those or have read them. But if you have not read these books yet, this is where you need to start today. And it will help you develop, as Jeffrey's book, a yes attitude and just the way that you view life. The perception is everything, right? And no matter what you've been through, it's something that you can control and then be creative and help yourself and help others. And so these two books start here. And one thing that I really like doing, I like sending people books. And if people, like Jeffrey says, people come over and they say, "Oh, that's a good book, can I borrow it?" I say, "No, I'll send it to you." And I'll send them a copy. And so I really like to send people books, and that's what I'm going to leave with today. Another one, which Napoleon Hill, How to Sell Your Way Through Life. He wrote this, published it 2 years after Think and Grow Rich. And I actually think it's a little bit better than Think and Grow Rich, not just because I'm in sales, but it to me, it's kind of a sequel to Think and Grow Rich when I read it. And that's excellent too. So keep that. And then there's two more that I want to go. One is Michael Heppel's 17.
Love that.
And I know you're in Michael's group. This book it's amazing. And it's all about utilizing, he's written a lot of other books too, but all about utilizing the number 17 just to be better. There's what he has, his 17-minute sprints. It's just amazing the things you could get done in 17 minutes. He talks about a 17-day massive action project.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. It's one of the most brilliant, refreshing books I've ever read, and especially as of late, it's an awesome book. And then lastly, this one, Steve Rizzo's Motivate This.
Yes.
I know you've interviewed Steve a couple times, and Steve is a fantastic guy. I know he's a great friend of Jeffrey for a really long time. And his book is excellent. You actually sent it to me because I won the trivia challenge, and so thank you for that. But his book is great, and he just talks about using humor to overcome the negatives in life and things that have happened when you're younger. And I know, like on his show, he told you he was voted least likely to succeed in high school. It's like, what the hell is that?
Who does that?
Yeah, at any age in life, somebody doing that. I mean, with the effect that would have on your psyche, and he's overcome it. But Jeffrey, when he passed out, he had Gabrielle, his daughter, pass out on her first day of school. The Orison Swett Martin thing, that every child should be taught to expect success. That's exactly it. Every child should be taught to expect success. So that book, Motivate This, has been real inspirational, and just how Steve's overcome that and just used humor to go through life. And just it's all in your head, and no matter what's happened in life, you have control over it to make it better. So I like to give book recommendations, and a lot of people probably know all those books, but if you're watching and you don't know those books, then go pick them up today, because it's things that have helped me and changed my life. I like to share with other people, and everybody on here, all the Charles was just on there, all the good folks that I see and meet and talk to every morning, that you especially, I love your show. You're awesome, and all you guys have had an impact on me, and so hopefully I could share with you, and then we could all just impact others and do good,
make the world a better place.
Yeah. And I have an idea for you that I'm going to be sending you something after your show. I need a good shipping address, because I know you're writing the book about your and your daughter's relationship. So I'm going to be sending you something that'll hopefully help with that.
Oh,
and
that's so sweet. And I didn't get your cards made, so I'll be shipping them to you, and then you can share them later if you like.
All right. I'm excited. Your cards are awesome.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about what's happened over, since March, April, May. It's just been, and the friends that I've developed through this, and, not even ever like seeing each other. You normally wouldn't have a friend until you met, oh, I've met this person. Or my best friend from high school or 8th grade. We've been best friends since 8th grade. We met at school, and there's a whole new way to not just do business. It's just a whole new way for life.
It's crazy.
It's what you make it. I mean, we're trying to make positive things happen for us and the people around us. And that's what makes this part, this part of what we'll call the pandemic. It's a good thing. I mean, not that the pandemic's a good thing. It's just that the things that are happening because of it. So
none of us would ever have met had it not been for the pandemic.
Or Jeffrey. Because I think we all started on Jeffrey's call, and
we did, and he wouldn't have started doing the daily 959s or the new normal course had it not been for that. And so I mean, chances are good none of us probably not how we did meet anyway, and it's just been incredible. And
in March I was afraid to go on a Zoom call. I mean, I was like, no video. And now they can't keep me off.
I know.
All the time.
And it's awesome. I love your shows. As soon as I tune in, your smile is great. You light up a room, and your laugh. I mean, because you tell you have fun doing it. That you actually enjoy yourself. You're a natural at it.
But how can I not enjoy myself? I'm talking to fabulous and inspirational people just like you. And look at my audience. I mean, I didn't get to say hi to Lynn. Lynn, happy Thanksgiving. I'll talk to you next week. Charles is wonderful. Phil, Coach Phil, he's awesome.
Coach Phil is awesome.
I think Bradley's new for me. Bradley says Gitomer, the glue that sticks.
Yeah, Brad's a good guy.
Oh wait, Charles wants to know how old you are.
34.
Oh, you're a youngster. I'm like a dinosaur compared to you.
A dinosaur. Look a day over 29.
Oh, I love you. That's so great. Well, I guess we better wrap this up. Before I forget, I always forget to ask people to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I like to be able to count, as my friend Michelle says, I like to be able to count my subscribers on more than 2 hands. So
yeah, that's all right. I will.
Tell your friends, subscribe, and share.
I think my wife subscribed. I'll double check, but I know.
Thank you. Is she watching Candidly Speaking?
Yeah, she is, and she's going to be on your guys' show. I know you reached out and wanted to interview her, but she'll be on. We're doing the great women behind the men. Not really, because we know the women are in front of the men. Oh, no argument here. But yeah, so okay, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Joe, for being Kellen, a guest that wows, and thank you, Blue Sky Video Productions for Bruce. And next week's guest is the amazing Doug Wing. So I love Doug. Yeah. So we'll see you next week, everybody. Thank you.